What's going on? Welcome back. In this video, we're wrapping this section up, and I'm really excited, right? Because we've covered a lot so far. Okay, so in this section of historical fundamental analysis, right, we had our introduction. We talked about, what is historical and fundamental analysis. We talked about qualitative fundamentals. We talked about quantitative fundamentals. We looked at the efficient market hypothesis. We looked at balance sheets and income statements and cash flow statements. We talked about the working capital ratio. We've talked about the quick ratio. We've talked about earnings per share, price earnings ratio, debt equity ratio, return on equity, price to earnings to growth ratio, and now we're wrapping it all together in this video. So what do I mean by wrapping it all together? Well, we've talked about the technical analysis. We've now talked a little bit about the historical and fundamental analysis, right? And we understand that there's all these qualitative things that affect performance and evaluations, right? The quality of something, not necessarily quantifiable, right? Like quantitative analysis, where we're quantifying the numbers and the data, right? And we've seen that there's all these balance sheets and internal documents and formulas and accounting that we can look at that can give us insight into the health and the performance of a company. And when I say that I'm wrapping this all together, I just want you to really understand that while we have all these tools and we have all of this information to look at and that we need to be discerning about, options themselves give us a lot of flexibility when it comes to actually making the investments and using different tools to actually produce a result, right? And it's important to understand all of these tools and to then understand, right, their limitations, that they're not 100%, that there are situations and events that are unforeseeable that can, contribute to the volatility or the price fluctuations of assets and whatnot. But just know that as you progress through your trading and your investing career, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you want to do, it's really important that you educate yourself on all of these different things, right? Because no matter how great you become or whatever it is that you end up doing, these things will play an important role at some time or another, right? Whether you become an entrepreneur and you need to go through your own internal financial statements to look at the health of your company, right? If you're evaluating other companies to invest in, right? If you're looking for different indicators and things that can forecast short-term versus long-term, right? There's tons more that we can talk about and dive into these things. But it's also important to understand that it's not the end-all be-all, and that actually when it comes to options, as we're going to see when we get into the option definitions and the option strategies themselves, that it's a combination, right, of looking at the market the right way, understanding we have all these tools and things that we can look at, and then more importantly, understanding the mechanics of the way these options work, understanding the pitfalls of where you can lose money and why you're going to lose money, and that it's not necessarily because you're not smart or because you don't know what you're doing, but because anything that you do well, right, is going to come with not only like applying yourself and studying it, but then actually gaining experience by actually doing it, right? So as you'll see, in the reason why that I talk of the importance of paper trading is just one little small step that helps prepare you for making correct decisions. And when we start to get into the options more, when we start to pull everything together where we're looking at the option, we're looking at the strategy, and now we're coupling that with some maybe technical analysis, and then maybe some historical analysis, and then maybe some fundamental analysis. Very important that we're confident, right? And we have taken the time to prepare ourselves to understand and know that we have all these tools that we can use, and then positioning ourselves in a place where we can learn from other people who have had failures and who understand where the cobra snake is hiding to get you, right? Where the tiger is hiding that's going to pop out and get you out of the tree. Because that's kind of what options trading is like, right? Because it's a zero sum game. Remember that. There's somebody on the other side taking that trade, and at a given point in time when that trade is executed, either side is going to win or lose, right? Like one side's going to win, one side's going to lose, right? So really important to understand that there are pitfalls, there are places that can be difficult, and I am here to share that with you so that you don't make the same mistakes I did, and you are prepared to move forward in whatever capacity you want to reach whatever goals you want, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to have purpose and belonging. And I know that these skills and the way that I'm teaching this and the way that I'm framing it and trying to get you to think about it is really going to be a benefit for you the more experience you get. Okay, so again, super thrilled that we made it this far. We're going to continue to move forward, and in the next video, I'll have a little homework for you, and then another assessment, and then we're going to get into the options. So I'll see you in the next video.